Oh no, I just failed my invulnerable save. Oh no, I just failed my RP roll. Don't worry, Wraith. We can fix you. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, yes, old metal wraiths. They tend to have a nasty habit of breaking, especially the ones with these wired bottoms. Now, it's not a problem on these ones where they've got this sort of solid towel section, this little area here which is pinned with a little metal piece which comes down. I've never had one of these break. However, these ones here with the wire, I've got one which is not broken, when they're pinned in, this little section here is actually really vulnerable. It's only just on this one little piece of metal, and what can happen is maybe even in your case, if this metal gets bent over just slightly, it weakens that metal and it breaks off. Now you may find that this is one reason why you can actually pick up some of these old metal wraiths on eBay quite cheap, because once that pin's broken, most people think that that's it, the model's done for as such. However, because this has happened to me quite a number of times, I've come up with a very good solution, a very good fix, and I'm just going to show you in this video how to do that, so hopefully it's going to be useful to you. So, first of all, we go to the actual base itself. Now this has got a hole in because this was originally glued into that, and all I did was got a little file and I pushed this the piece of metal that was in there out of the hole. So now I've just got a hole. So what I'm going to do is zoom in slightly, give you a slightly better picture. Right, so I'm going to get my little clippers. These ones here, these are just my Games Workshop ones, and I'm going to go underneath. Now what I'm going to try and do is effectively put this down so that it's at the back area a little bit more, so that when it's glued on it's weighted. I don't want to put it at the front because it's just going to topple over, so it's going to be at this sort of back area more. So I'm going to make use of this original hole, and then if you look underneath there's another hole right next to it. So I'm going to basically use this area to put the model in. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut off the excess pieces of plastic using my pliers, clippers, always call them pliers for some reason. Do that, and then we're going to just gently work on that area, and we are going to cut out a little hole. Now when you're doing this, just make sure that you don't bend this base, because you don't want the base not to be sitting flat anymore. So just gently work on that, take your time. So when it's made a reasonable hole with the clippers, it will then time to get your hobby knife out and just gently just cut out like we're almost trying to cut out a slot. So you can see I've got a starting of a hole, so I'm going to continue that, and I'll speed up the camera as I'm doing it for you. Okay, so we're starting to get quite a nice little slot. And what we're going to do now is get our wraith and just have a little measure up. Now the idea basically is that we've got this big hole here, and we're going to fill this hole with green stuff all the way in here, and then we're going to inset the model into the green stuff. So I'm just going to have a little measure. Now at the moment that hole isn't big enough, so I've got to open that up a little bit more. So let's do that again. Okay, so we've got quite a nice sized hole there, so let's have another look, see how that's going to work. So it's very nearly there. I would say I just need to do a tiny bit more. Perfect. We've got a nice lot area. Okay, so once you've done that, then you need to get yourself some green stuff. Now I've made a bit of green stuff here. I've got a slightly bigger board of blue stuff. Not like a lot bigger, but it's slightly bigger because I want this green stuff to go quite hard when it's finished. So I'm just going to mix that together. Okay, so mix that together. We are now going to take this green stuff and we're going to roll it into like a little oblong shape, and we are going to stick it into this hole like so. So we've now filled the hole up like that. I'm then going to get a cup of water. It's just my paint water there, but it's clean. And I'm going to put some water onto the table. Now we want to have a nice flat area ideally here for doing this bit. So we've got some water on the table. I'm just going to put the base onto the water. And why we're doing that is because we don't want the green stuff to stick onto the table. Okay, now I'm going to take my super glue. This is the glue that I'm using. Take my super glue and I'm going to basically put a good amount of super glue onto the bottom area of these wires on both sides. Just double it all over it like so, and then we're going to take the towel and we're going to push it into that green stuff hole like so. Now because of the water's on there, it hasn't really stuck, and there it is underneath like that. And just to make sure that it's flat, I'm just going to hold it sort of in position. I'm going to push this base down and I'm going to sort of scrape it along so that I know that that is definitely flat. Okay, so now we've got it into position. All you do is get some blue tack, put that down on your desk, and then turn this upside down. Pop the model in the blue tack like that. Don't forget to put your super glue lid on. And that is it. We're going to leave that there. In my experience, green stuff takes about 4 hours before it goes hard enough that you can handle it. So I'm going to leave that for 4 hours, and then I will come back and show you the end result. Right, there you go. So 4 hours later, let's have a look and see how we're getting on. So just take him off of the blue tack and let's just test it out. That's really good. So that is very very solid indeed, and of course this green stuff is going to dry even harder over the next few hours or so, so that is going to be a perfect finish really. I mean, it's slightly shorter than obviously the original model, just down to the fact that obviously we've inset it slightly, but it looks just as good, and to be fair, I don't think anyone would really see the difference. So yeah, that's it. That's the tutorial over. Really hope it was useful. Of course, this doesn't necessarily just apply to this model. Potentially it could apply to other models and other circumstances as well. So hope the video was useful. Right, that's it from me. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.